Jews, Christians, and Muslims have all developed remarkably similar notions of the divine. Even though they were often working in isolation from one another and often were in a state of deadly hostility with one another, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim theologians have continually asked the same kind of questions about God.
There is more than just one way in which the power and grace of God can be experienced by humankind. It is not just mutually exclusive through the Christian experience. That in fact, the claim that God had on Muhammad as a great prophet is, in my opinion, an equal claim that God had on his son Jesus.
I would like the Jewish community in particular to understand how close Islam as a religious way of life is to Judaism. How much Judaism and Islam share in common. And I would like, above all, for Jews to appreciate that Islam, above all, refers to God as the all-compassionate and as the most compassionate. And that compassion is a fundamental value within Islam.
The Quran says very clearly that we have created human beings with different nationalities, different ethnic groups, different communities, so that they learn to know one another. The Arabic uses lita'arafu. That means they should know one another.
How can I sing my song to Jesus with abandon without telling dirty stories about others? That is the assignment for theologians in the 21st century.
This documentary compares similarities and differences in religious beliefs and practices that Islam has with Christianity and Judaism. People of goodwill in the Abrahamic faith communities are coming to terms with historical conflicts that impact their lives today. They are dedicated to tearing down barriers to understanding and respect.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The opening prayer of the Quran being seen as really the Lord's Prayer of Islam is something that if you shared that with a group of Christians in Middle America, they would probably fall over and need resuscitation. You know, I marvel when people ask me the question about, or they say, did you know that? The opening prayer in the Quran is sometimes referred to as the Lord's Prayer of Islam. And my response is, so what? It is true. How did it get there? Common heritage, common linkages, common pieces of respectful dialogue and information sharing. Recognizing that we are connected. We do have a common source. There is one God.
سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر.
What Jesus came to teach, what Moses came to teach, is to love God. The whole idea of loving God with all of one's heart and mind and soul and strength. I mean, when you look at this commandment to love the Lord your God with all of your heart and all of your mind and all of your soul and all of your strength. I mean, this is a very profound statement, because we are instructed to love the Creator absolutely. If religion deals with the eternal in the human condition, its truths have to be universal. and they have to speak to the eternal in every human being.
The commonality is, in my mind, so overwhelmingly greater than that which separates the different communities. And that is rooted upon the recognition of the one God, creator of the universe, guide of history, who is not only the one deity, but is a moral deity, and therefore a compassionate and gracious and loving deity who calls upon us to behave accordingly. That is the common theme that unites Islam, Christianity, and Judaism together. And it's the overwhelming, overriding message of our common heritage.